Hey, welcome. I'm perfectlegend, and today I'm going to intro you into competitive Tekken. So sit back and relax, and let's get started. Tekken is actually not complicated or hard to learn. It's just a lot to learn. Starting with move lists alone, you have to memorize all the animations so you know what you're defending against. In addition to that, the movement really enhances the game. Starting with Tekken 3, when they added sidestep and more refined backdash cancels, the game became a lot more dynamic. And with each game, they've improved on it. And they've added more and more mechanics that universally benefits the cast of the game. And using those mechanics, you can shape around an effective game plan for every character and every version of Tekken. And like competitively, the game benefits players with good reactions, decision making, timing, situational awareness, the knowledge checks of just all the different moves of the game and situations, and good risk assessment with proper conditioning. And with all that, Tekken really encourages you to always be thinking. And there are a lot of strong options in the game, like given to all the characters, but there's no one option without a drawback. I mean, there's some moves that are really strong, but it still has a way to challenge it at least. So you can't really exploit it or exploit anything easily. And so you have to be really precise with your timings, because there's just a lot of ways to get challenged, and basically the tables will get turned on you. So like with that, how do you start, right? What are you trying to do? And it's like, okay, so Tekken, I'll say you want to start with like your top 10 moves, like figure out just 10 moves, right? And then the reason behind the moves that you're using. So I'll go with my main character for this demonstration. Who better than Kazuya, the original protagonist? So in Tekken, they have this new simple special style that they put in the game for people who want to get into Tekken. Now, I'm going to use this in this example because I believe they have chosen like a good set of moves for you to use. This is their modern controls, and I say this because a lot of the moves they picked are moves that I use and a lot of other good Devil Gem players use in their game plan. So with that said, let me demonstrate. Let me set the character to block. So with special style, you see you only have like a few buttons you need to press to play. So now you got your specialty move, which does a bunch of different moves. So I'll demonstrate. And these will also be his top moves. So let's start with one, right? This move, it doesn't show you the command, but it's actually 4-4-2. So when you're not in this special style, you just do 4-4-2. You can perform that while you're already like dashing forward, but you have to press 2 at the end. And for those that are super duper new, let me just go through what I mean with these numbers. So in Tekken, you have left punch, left kick, right kick. But for all of us discussing the moves and stuff, if I tell you left punch, right punch, it's just going to be so much to say. And it's a lot easier to say 1, 2, 3, 4 because there's not many syllables you have to say. And you understand what I'm saying as soon as I say it. So when you look at a controller, the controller is going upward as far as the buttons go, and they'll say square or like Y, depending on the controller you're using. That will be 1, and then the next button will be 2, and then the button under 1 will be 3, and then the button under 2 will be 4. So it would be like on PlayStation, squares 1, triangles 2, X is 3, and circle is 4. So then, on Xbox, that will be, and I guess what, computer as well, that will be X for one, Y for two, three for A, or A for three, and B for four. So because we don't want to say, oh, triangle and square or X and Y is universal across the board. For that's the layout for us. And of course, we, like I said earlier, we can say left punch, right punch, and so with that said, this move is forward too. And meaning forward, I'm pressing forward twice, and then there's going to be back. There's going to be side step, which is really just you press up, or you a sidewalk, press down, or up, depending on which way you're going. So now with that said, you got your special style. Ooh, I'm doing it wrong, my bad. You got your special style, forward two, but you just press square, and that's just neutral square. If you don't press any direction and you press square, that comes out. And then if you hold back, you press square, he does a jab, which is 1-2. The good poke, just to see what's going on. You won't get much from it, but I mean, just for what it does is decent to get you going, because you start to understand, all right, well, I can poke back like this because it's a faster normal, because this up close will get hit out unless you have some frame advantage ahead of time. But yeah, this move forward, this is 4-4-4-3, like, or running three. Oops. So you get some space to do that. So, but instead with this, it does it for you without you needing to run. But there's some delay there because it compensates for the lack of the run. You see a little stutter step he does before he jumps, yeah. And then you got your homing attack. This attack, homing moves are moves that stop side step. So if they're trying to avoid your linear attacks, like say if you are getting off your 4-4-2, this is what's called a demon palm, and they're going to try to sidestep at higher levels. So you end up, I mean, you're not going to be playing another beginner forever. So you got to end up just learn the game. Like, I know how people are like, oh, let's just do this for beginners. It's too much. Eventually, like, y'all got to stop underestimating people. Like, I don't believe humans are idiots. So eventually they're going to smarten up and see, oh, well, how do I stop this? So you might as well just give them the options. It's like giving somebody some food and saying, well, I'll give you the seasoning once you finally start complaining about how bland it tastes. Like, why not just give them the food while it's, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all get where I'm coming from. But anyway, so you got your home move stopper. I mean, your sidestep stopper with the home move to stop them from trying to sidestep this. But also, you've got your juggles, your air combo. So this does electric wing god fist for you, which is one of his key moves as well. But it does a slower version of it. Just like how there's startup for you to do this move more than normal because you're not already running. So they put like artificial starter frames there. They put artificial starter frames here too. It's not exactly 11 frames like it says. They put a delay on it before it comes out, but it does a good job for you to be able to see what's going on, because you can play this game plan where you're like, all right, demon palm, oh, you're trying to get in, and once you finally are accustomed to this game plan, then you can start playing the regular style, and then you can snap out the electric wing god fist whenever you want, as well as the demon palm move. But back in special style, so if you land this this launcher and just keep mashing triangle or two, it'll do a combo for you. And if you have your rage drive, or your rage R available, it'll go right into it for you. So this helps you, until you're able to manually do combos and manually do pokes and stuff. I definitely recommend playing special style. Don't feel ashamed or nothing like that, because I know people be trying to shame people because they're doing this. But hey, this is to help you get accustomed to the game. And then of course, as I did earlier by accident, but your power crush. Your power crush is another move that is very useful. I mean, it's easy to do even without special style. You just press down and 1, but in special style you just press X or 3, and it's an armor move. The starter frames, I think it has to be like frame 5 or 6 or something. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going by how it feels and trying to guess. But by the time it's on the screen and your opponent's moves are on the screen, you'll beat them out. And for the only way for them to beat you out is for them to have a low on the screen or a throw on the screen before this move, and also just to block it and punish it because it is unsafe. But with this game plan, you'll be able to see like how Devil Gem work. Like for example, you do this right and they block it and they try to retaliate. They don't do anything that gets to you fast enough. You have enough time to power crush through it if they choose to do something. So it's just, yeah, it's a good starting point for what you want to do. So then you also have your lows and throws that you can do. So you press circle and it does the launcher for you, low launcher, and then you can dash up and try to get combos going. But it's kind of pain, but you still can get like a certain hit or whatever. Also, if you hold forward, you get another low. This move is called, well, I don't know what it's called, but it's down back 2 normally. And this move high crushes, which means it will duck against or insta crouch versus jabs or highs, even and throws. So if you can scout out, oh, they're going to try to keep me out with a high or try to poke me or do something, and you do this, you get a knockdown if it's on the right frame. And it's a advantage on hit, so you can follow up for more attacks. Trying to see if he has like a wild rising normal. I think he does. Did they let you do wild rising in this style? I guess not. Regardless, so if you hold back and press your circle, your 4, instead of low attack, you get the grab. So you got hold forward, grab, hold forward, 4, you get the low high crush low. You press down and 4, you get like your standard standing poke. Hold on, let me make sure. Is this really advantage? There's no way. Okay, I was saying, it's just counter hit, my bad. But yeah, you still get your standard low poke right there, and you get your high crush and low poke, and then you get your big damage and low. That's pretty unsafe. If they block this, they basically get a combo as well. But yeah, you got, sorry, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and your heat burst. Can't forget about the heat burst. Heat burst as well. Just like the power crush, this offers plus on block and put you in the situation where you can use your heat smash, and you do chip damage on your pokes and stuff more than normal, and it'll be on every attack instead of just certain moves. But yeah, you do the heat smash again. So you got a nice decent amount of core moves that you can build a game plan on, but then when you're ready, you can turn off special style and then play the full game. You have access to more moves like this, his forward 3, I don't know what to call it, but he flies at you. He can do a couple different moves. He can do this, plus on block, knocks you down, it hits. This move stops sidestep, because this move can actually be sidestepped and you can blow up Devil Gem. But this move hits people who sidestep, however, is unsafe at -14. And then as well as this, you just want to use as a combo starter during combos, or a combo extender during combos is not something you really want to throw out in neutral. But yeah, then when he has his heat smash, I mean his heat available, then you do the fly. You have a grab you can do by doing the heat smash again. So it's this heat smash during this. So when they're super conditioned to care about this, then that's when that will land. And that's another thing. He can heat engage off of this. I haven't mentioned heat engagers yet. So heat is a new mechanic that's in this game. Heat is for giving the opponent, giving you the ability to do chip damage with all your attacks, and you also gain health back, your white life back, because when you get chipped out, you still have the chance of gaining it back when you're in heat. And just doing things in heat can build you your health back and also keep you in heat longer if you play a certain way, depending on the condition. And while in heat, you have access to the heat smash, which for most characters is like a plus on block mid that leads to more pressure, or it's a super fast low depending on the characters. So just study accordingly to see which characters have what. But heat smash is very powerful in this game, as it beats armor moves and is safe on block generally, or plus on block in a lot of situations, or for a lot of characters. So again, I want to put more emphasis on study, so you don't be fighting a character and go, oh my god, I didn't know they had this and it worked like this way. So now you've seen moves you can do, and you get a rundown of how things work. You just want to come in and out, go for pokes, go for lows, throws and stuff. Well, now the next thing you want to and also I assume you'll have like your combos down, or you only need to learn combos because you're playing special style. You just press 2, right? Now the next thing you want to learn, which is very important in this game and will enhance your player ability and just threat on the screen in general, is your movement. You want to know how to backdash cancel. You want to know how to like cancel that into like a run or into a side step or sidewalk or something, and the different movements that other characters can do, like wave dash, and then you got like the Hayashida step, which is like a kind of a side step backdash type cancel thing, or side step cancel. But for the most part, at least starting off, you want to be able to just back up and move forward like this. Because you see, like, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just doing back, forward. But I'm kind of like moving back depending on where I want to go. So this is a big important part of movement, because you want to be able to get in and out and threaten like, hey, I'm about to come in. So because if you're in this space, in this range, someone's going to stick something out because they don't want you to get in to potentially like basically do a hell sweep or do a grab, because it's too much to defend against all the time. Eventually you get hit by something, so they're like, all right, I'm gonna stick something out. And that you want to be in a position where you can punish them for extending, and you want to be out of range, so you have to give them the illusion you're going to come in to set that up. So you're going to be unable to do that if you're walking around like this. And it's not difficult. Let's not turn this into rocket science. By like, you play Thumb War with your friends in school, you can do this, because when y'all be declaring Thumb War, y'all be going ham trying to hold that thumb down. So just look, I'm not even doing the backdash cancel. I'm just doing back. I'm just mashing back. You see how that is? So now you're basically canceling the backdash by doing like back, then forward. But it's weird because you can do some type of thing where it's like, oh, 2 steps back, 1 step forward. But you see how there's just so much movement you can do right here. Now, when you start adding a cancel to it, going backwards, you can cover more space and keep going backwards, not have to worry about, getting caught by advancing normal, because you just happen to want to press forward to move. You also can press back up, or you can do back down. Not as effective at moving backwards, because you're adding a little stutter to keep you in that little space, because you're not moving back enough, but it still gets the job done as well, especially if you do it fast enough. You might be like, man, how you doing that fast? Honestly, you just gotta practice it the old-fashioned way and get used to muscle memory. It's not gonna, you're probably gonna be discouraged at first and feel like, man, I can't do this. Well, duh, because you never done it before. So you gotta start doing it. And then all of a sudden, the muscle memory is just gonna kick in and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I got this down now. But yeah, this is a big part of the game. This backdash is also called Korean backdash. I don't know, people want to be all politically correct or be weird about it, but like that's what it was called. I mean, that's what we call it, and don't nobody mean no harm on it. So I just want to get that out there. But yeah, Korean backdash is super effective for just playing Tekken. It makes the game look really cool. It's one of my favorite things about the game, and it's been like that forever, and it will stay that way. But yeah, you want to be able to move in and out so you can manipulate the space and, you know, come in with moves, because all right, a move like this, you gotta be able to already, you know, dash forward first or buffer the dash in, and it's hard to do that if you're just standing up close and you're doing pokes. You will basically get knocked out of it with a counter hit move or something. People are always throwing stuff out, power crushes, high crushes, sidestep moves, fast high moves that count, you know, it's a lot. So you want to do the moves in the range that they're the most effective, and that requires you to have some movement. So spend a good deal of time, just as much time practicing your combos as you do movement. And it's not like you got to be like, all right, man, today I'm gonna just do this all day. I mean, you can do that, by the way. I mean, I recommend that if you can get over the, I guess, the boredom of what people will call as practice. I mean, to me, practice is not boring at all, but I know people who feel that way. But when you're like, all right, say you're like Shadowbox, you're like, all right, I'm gonna pretend I'm playing against somebody, and you get a launch, and you're like, all right, I got the launch, you do your combo, and then you're like, all right, cool. Or, you know, because you're playing Tekken, the greatest like fighting game ever right now, and they got ghosts. You can fight the ghosts. You can download people's ghosts and get an idea of what the characters are doing and just how to play against it, because that ghost might have the data of how to play against certain matchups, and they might know how to play against your character. So then they, you know, they do all the right stuff that they need to do. And that's another way, just getting experience without needing to stress yourself out with going into ranked. Like the ghosts in Tekken are really good. The AI is not, they're not dummies. So you can get a good game flow against them and just play infinitely. Or you can play against humans too. It's no big deal. But I'm just telling you options. But the benefits of learning your movement is, you know, for better manipulation of you know, space for offense and defense. So hopefully you're looking at the arrows to see how I'm doing this. And no, I'm not hitting the direction twice. I'm literally pressing the angle of the direction and just tapping it. And then for this side, you're taking your right thumb. You're pressing the right direction, and then you're taking your thumb and then sliding it to up. So like you start on the right arrow and then press up. And this side, you just literally press both down and right at the same time, or down in the forward arrow at the same time. And this is just back, then down, back. But then you can also do back, down, back. But you have to do like initial back to get them to, like, I don't want to say this is a stance, but it feels like you're putting yourself into the situation to backdash. You press back, you kind of like unlock okay, I'm in the backdash position. So then you can just do back, down, back, and slide your finger back. Instead of having to do two backs, like I'm not doing back, then down, back anymore. I'm just doing back, down, back. And you see how I can like cover that space. So it's not, see, I'm trying to prove that I'm not, but you also do back, then core circle back. which I think takes longer. And honestly, it looks like that, but that's not what I'm telling my finger to do, despite how or my thumb or my wrist as well. Like when you play on stick, it's different because you are using your thumb and like your hand to kind of like just navigate it, or to like be the barrier that the stick hits, but you're really using your wrist to do everything. Kind of. Well, it's a combination of everything. But yeah, so after that, and I know this is long-winded, I'm sorry, but the Tekken is a lot. It's not complicated, it's just a lot. But once you start getting it, you get it. So now I told you about the 1, 2, 3, 4, your left punch, right punch, left kick, right kick. I'm gonna talk to you about the throws. So throws, you got your left throw, your right throw, and then you got your both hands throw. So the left throw is done by doing like 1 plus 3, and the 2 throw is done by 2 plus 4, and the 1 plus 2 grab is, guess what, done by doing 1 plus 2 in the direction. And for this character, it's up 4, 1 plus 2. Those generic throws that they have. So you can break every throw in Tekken. There's no guess. You just have to read the hands, or not read the hands. I mean, read as in like watch the hands on the screen. You see them and you press the button for the hand. That's all you got to do. There's no guess. There's no, oh, you land the grab, you got to guess, oh, which side I'm gonna throw you on. And you know, it's not anything corny like that. So you can theoretically break every grab, but there are situations where you won't be able to. Like, say if I did like an attack right and you grab me out the attack, because that attack has already been out on the screen, I guess, unless like it's not all the way during the active frames, I might be able to take it. But for the most part, I've been grabbed out of attacks and not been able to tech because I pressed the wrong button during the attack that I was doing. Like, say I did an attack with 2 and they grab me with 1, it won't let me tech. If I'm wrong about that, then someone can correct me in the comments, but for the most part, me playing Tekken, that has been a thing. But you can definitely, you know, while you're doing the move, you see, I guess, break with the other hand. I've seen that before. But grabs are there to help break the defense. I mean, they can't defend against everything, so use grabs with lows and like overheads and stuff, and frame traps that you create to break your opponent's defense. And there are grabs that are designated to where, okay, so this grab and this grab, the standard 1 and 2 grabs, they can be broken with either 1 or 2. Before in Tekken, it wasn't like that. You had to break 1 with 1, you had to break 2 with 2. But there are moves now, or throws now, that are now called command grabs that can only be broken with 2 or only be broken with 1. Devil so all right, this is his 2 grab. All right, now this is his 2 command grab. You have to break that with only 2. Just to prove that real quick, I want you to see. See, look, throw escape 2, White Mountain. So there are moves like that in this game where you only can break like that, as in 1 plus 2 grabs can only be broken with 1 plus 2. This grab can only be broken with 1. So you can use that to mix up your opponent that might be just being lazy and breaking the 1 grab, the 1 standard grab with 2, and the 2 standard grab with 1. So you're like, no, you got to do what you got to do the right thing, man. Wait, what was it? My bad. Oh, forward circle back. You got to do the right thing, like Spike Lee. So so what I say for this strategy, always be looking for throws. And another tip on that is always try to break the hand that you see so you don't get mixed up, because you don't know if they're going to do the command grab version or the standard grab version. So just try to be on point and you won't get mixed or get, you know, lose 40. See, look how much damage this is. 44 points. What is this? 44 points. You don't want to get, that's a big chunk of damage. And look at the comparison to these grabs. This 30, 38, 38. So just a little bit more damage too, because it's a command grab. But situations where grabs are going to come up, of course, like it's a lot harder to scout out the power crush and the heat burst to grab people out of that. But you can condition them by making them block and afraid of other options. So, and the big way to do that is just like get frame advantage or do something that might leave room for imagination that you might do something else, and then you catch them off guard, or you just run up and grab them. Like that works too. And also on wake up, say that you knock them down and they get up, or also after a heat engager, yeah, after you get knocked down and get up, go for something. That's a good time to go for a grab. And these situations are also in reverse, which you should look for on on defense when throws will come. But as I said before, you should always be looking for throws, because I mean that's a simple way for you to lose on defense. All right, so when you get more used to Tekken, you know more of your moves and your characters' moves and stuff. You want to start adopting, I mean, your opponent's moves, the cast moves, the roster, whatever. You want to start adopting these strategies to keep note of. Like, so you only want to be afraid of course, throws, lows, but you want to be in the range. You want to only be afraid when you're in a range. So like clearly right here, grabs are problematic. You can get caught by them. So are lows, right? But at this range, you know, lows can't even touch the opponent. So their threat level is not huge unless they're right here. So you want to, that's why I was telling about movement earlier. It's important to have good movement so you can avoid and mitigate the risks and the threats that your opponent can dish out. And then you can want to use to enhance your stuff. So you don't want to, with that, you don't want to let, when they do get in and they start doing lows and stuff, you don't want the lower damage and things to make you panic and start ducking, so you start getting hit by mids. It's a game of staying out of range of the threats, but then when you're in a range of a threat, there's another layer of, all right, I need to not let this bother me because they're trying to set me up for something that will bother me even worse. It's like, you know, not getting your oil change right. If you don't get your oil change, it leads to a whole another list of problems that can you know, domino effect into. So you don't want to be up close getting caught by loads. You're like, I'm a duck, and you get launched and they combo you. You don't want to, that's yeah. So don't let those lows scare you into beating yourself. But there's also in reverse that, don't let lower damages like mids and stuff scare you into, and I guess make you forget that, you know, there are lows in the game too. But you especially don't want to be ducking when your back's to the wall, because if your back's to the wall, they do a quick hit that knocks you. It's just as much damage as a launcher mid screen, because they get the wall splat you. You can also block a lot of lows at around 20 frames or more on reaction, like down back 2, this low right here, 21 frames. Now it's fast and it's great for dealing with highs and stuff and getting a counter hit and knock people down. But if the opponent's really like waiting and looking for it, just like they would be using the same intensity for dealing with grabs and stuff, they can block it and punish you. And it is unsafe. It is unsafe enough to where they can net some damage. At least Kazuya can get a launcher. I just want to show you the actual frame data on it. Yeah, minus 13. So Kazuya can get a launcher. Other characters, they might get a quick hit and some advantage and be able to continue their offense. But yeah, it's still a good low to check people with, to see, oh, are they blocking lows or not? And there are other lows in the game that fit the same purpose. Now, in addition to reacting to the animation of the low, you want to react to the timing of when the low will come. So if you are standing up a lot and they just can't hit you with mids or mid or highs or throws, they're going to start going low because they're going to be just going through the different options to open you up. But when you are conditioning them to try to hit you low, then you can start blocking low. And then fuzzy blocking, now this is a little more advanced, but you got to learn how to do this anyway if you want to be good. You're basically doing something to block slower lows and block slower mids and block faster lows at the kind of simultaneously at the same time. So you'll be doing like when you block a quarter circle back, because you're blocking a timing that it will block the low and block the mid at the same time, but they can delay their timing to hit you as well, but either way, either mid or low. So you gotta be careful and just change up your defense accordingly. Like sometimes you can just block the normal way where you just do it based on reaction, right? But also then you can do it based on the fuzzy block, which is a form of an option select, because you are just trying to cover two options at one time without needing to like guess. But that with the movement and the power crush and the high crush and rage art and stuff, and the heat bursts are great ways to just challenge the opponent's approach right there. I was saying, like, the more you're aware and the further you are and you know where the threats are, it's a lot easier to dictate the pace. Like, if say you're fighting Paul or Mishima, right? They're the most biggest threat, like, well, at a range, because they let you win the offense, and also they can come in with their 4-4-2 or Demon Paul move, but it's the Hell Sweep range. When they're in Hell Sweep range, it's basically a free knockdown if you're not crouching. So you're forced to think about crouching in this range. This is like a problematic range, because you whiff, you get electric. Or if you hesitate and you don't do nothing and they see that, they come in with 4-4-2 or Hell Sweep or down back 2 or grab. You want to stay out of that range to eliminate the threat, so it's a lot easier to read what they can do, because if they got all those options right there, they can overwhelm you and get you to basically catch you off guard because you're thinking about too many things or not enough things. or not the right thing. But yeah, so always be thinking ahead. Even if you land an attack, you want to make sure the opponent can't challenge you in the next exchange, or be aware that you can be challenged, because you might like land a jab on hit right and they mash a high crush, but you know they're going to do that, or you just expecting they're going to do something. You can backdash or just sidestep to bait something out and then capitalize off that. It's like you set them up for setting themselves up. Don't remember that you don't have to respect frame data, but you have to respect frame data. What I mean by that, and what I was just talking about, like you say, you get a frame advantage hitting somebody and they want to mash something. Well, you can do the same thing. You can be like, all right, it's not my turn, I'm gonna do a power crush, or I'm gonna do a high crush or something. But they can also still cover that option by saying like, hey, look, I know he's gonna mash here, but I'm gonna do the one true thing that I know hits here. And there are moves like that. As many as there are evasive moves, there are moves that are for sure going to hit you no matter if you try to be evasive or not. So for Devil Jin, one of those moves is back forward. He can stop so much stuff. People trying to be sketchy and doing like evasive crushes and stuff for this, just because of the nature of the move and how it hits. You can't even lay on the ground because it'll hit you on the ground. So there are different moves like that. Every character has something like that. For the most part, that's what I mean by you have to respect and disrespect frame data. So you got your high crush type move. This move kind of doubles as a high crush and a low crush. It beats out lows and it'll kind of duck highs at the same time. And you get a combo off this if you land it successfully. And then of course you got your side step move, side step attacks, goes into a lot. And yeah, so your power crush, low crush, your heat burst, which is a plus on block power crush. That's what I call it. So 16 frames, 18 frames, and of course you go into heat engage for that. But because of this the system of all these different options you gotta look out for, it makes every Tekken match dynamic, because no match is gonna go the same. Two great players, they might like be spacing each other out and stuff, but as far as like the exchanges up close, you're going to see a different type of game every time. They're either going to play it really safe, or they're going to be trying to rob each other, or a mixture of the two. So if you're just trying to attack without like overextending too much, you can use a jab or standing one for every character as a way, or for some character like Jack, you gotta use standing two. But this is a good way to check the temperature of what's going on in the match. Like, all right, I don't want to do nothing with too much recovery. I just want to see what's going on. If they're not ready to whip punish it, they probably won't whip punish it, especially if you're not in the right range, but up close. This is what you're going to use to like attack with, for the most part. Not like everybody, but I mean, well, everybody, but it's when you're up close, like a lot of characters like Nina, just Steve, etc., Law, they live by their jabs. I mean, a lot of characters do. So don't feel discouraged from attacking with it. And also low jab. The low jab is a special low 10 frame starve as well. When they're overwhelming you with the standing jab and you're at disadvantage, you can use that. But be wary, because they can sidestep and punish you, backdash, punish you on whiff, and also low crush you. That's where down four, something like this, or up 4-4 will come to play. And with jabs, you set up other mids that have advantage. I mean, that will fit the advantage. So say like +8 right here, right? This means I can do 4-4-2 uninterrupted. I can do electric uninterrupted. Slot moves I can just do uninterrupted, even by the down back jab. So that's the purpose of landing pokes like this, is you get the advantage to do something else and create that game plan. That's where tick throw comes into play. And that's another thing I want to say. You want to grab a lot, because the opponent can't break every grab. Keep internalize that. You cannot break every grab. You might look like you're breaking every grab. You might break every grab in a round, but you cannot break every grab. Everybody's immortal. Everybody's a human. So open them up accordingly. Throw the kitchen sink at them when it comes to grabs. And because then they're going to start ducking, because they're like, man, there's too many grabs, you know? And as I was demonstrating earlier, they do a great chunk of damage, and they're built to help try to mix you up, overwhelm your opponents. Okay, so now I want to talk about getting up off the ground. So you have your side get up, or they say side Yukimi. I think Yukimi, I forget what the actual translation is, but you're basically tech rolling to the left, you tech roll to the right, quick recovery, back quick roll. And so the back quick roll, you want to be careful doing this, because this right here, oh, not that, oh, oops, maybe that's not it. Oh, let me see if I can. All right, yeah, right here, you can get relaunched if they're close enough. They do the right move. If you get up with this, you want to make sure you do it at the right timing, or you can get blown up for doing that. But at the same time, that your opponent that's trying to challenge you for getting up can get messed up too, and you get your frame advantage. Or like, I can attack at the wrong time, and yeah, but you don't get too much off that. You got your tech roll. It depends, because see, normally this option, right? I'm just going to show you that it's not one end all be all option. So you can back roll that as well. Even if I dash, so I would have to do like a overextending normal like this to hit, to challenge. But if they side roll, then I could probably get punished right here. Same thing. But right here, this is guaranteed because of the knockdown, because he's face forward. But if it's not face forward, it's not guaranteed. So you want to know what your wake up options are. There are also options where you can just stay on the ground when you get knocked down and not get up. So you just stay on the ground. I'm not even gonna get up. You can just sit here And so there are moves that will knock you down. I mean, they'll hit you while you're knocked down, but they won't hit you while you're knocked down, and you just sit idle like this when you're knocked down. So you can use this, you can do this to run the clock at times, but when they catch on that you're just laying down, they can't hit you with a move that catches you. But that move might whiff versus you rolling to get up. And then you also mix up, you instant roll or just get up backwards. On. Basically what I'm just trying to tell you here, you want to mix up your get ups. So you hold back to do this backwards get up. Also there are special get ups, like Delgin has one. Yeah, special get up 3+4. Not everyone has that, but some characters do, so scout out which ones. But yeah, this is a one way to get up. And you can just get up as I just did. You press up just for that. So you have to mix up your different options on how you get up versus your opponent when they knock you down, and then also know how to cover the options so when you knock them down, so you can continue your offense. It's just like the game is not over once you knock somebody down, so that set play stuff is going to be a lot harder to implement outside of like, okay, you just got a guaranteed hit here. But again, like, the situation's not gonna be the same all the time, depending on what's going on. Because sometimes you get knocked down off like a straight hit or something, and they're not close enough to get in, or you get knocked, or you get a combo finished off like a off axis, so it's awkward to get a hit. So yeah, just get used to the options. And you know, go to practice mode and mess around with it and get used to the timing and stuff. Because I mean, like, yeah, I could tell you what to do, but you still have to go through all of this the old-fashioned way. Now, I just want to give you a quick rundown, like, of the common moves you want to look out for. So everyone has a jab, like a down forward one to poke with, to annoy you with, to get you to try to do something. You know, because off a poke like this, you can set up backdash, sidestep, or just poke again. Say you do down for one, they block it. So then they know, all right, I'm gonna do a high because my jab is gonna beat you out. And then you're like, all right, you do a high crush, or you decide I'm gonna just do a power crush, or you know that they're gonna do. Say you do this, they do down back one, then you do a low crush to deal with them. So it's just playing the odds, and you got your evasive moves that force a whiff too that you can do. So it's just about, hey, what you think is going to happen, and then also conditioning your opponent. But yeah, so the common moves, again, jab, down for one, they have down for twos. His down for two is actually his Tekken 5 back one. They brought it back and gave him the stance that he doesn't mind it. But a lot of characters down for twos, they might launch, or they might launch on counter hit, or they might launch be safe, or they might launch but only launch versus standing opponents and don't launch versus crouching opponents, or the move might launch versus both but be unsafe. So they'll give like the same type of move to characters but change up how that move is for everybody, so everybody don't have the same type of build. And then but everyone has like fast low, medium speed low, slower low, and then like the really slow lows, hop kicks, or the moves that are kind of like hop kicks. They all have like varying risk score. Like this would be like a safe hop kick, but you don't get a combo off of it unless you're already like heat engaged. But in this one, so like this one will be safe, but plus on block when he's in heat engaged, and this is always unsafe. But you see all the stuff you get. So the risk reward makes sense with how they do things. And then you got, as I've been talking about most of this video, you got your crushes, power crushes, low crushes and stuff. You got your dash pokes, like the 442. You got your run pokes, like this move, or you're running, I guess, getting in moves. You got your wild rising attacks. That's another thing. So wild rising is basically like a stance for everybody, but you only can go on that. Say you have your standing moves, your crouching moves, you got your wild rising moves. So as you're standing up, you press the button. So this is a standard 2, right? This is 2 as he's crouching. This is 2 as he's coming up. 2 as he's crouching. I mean, 1 is he's standing, 1 is he's crouching, and as he's rising. So on and so forth. You can do that with every button. But yeah. So every character in the game has access to all this stuff. You want to know what every character is doing in those situations, because it's a big part of the game. That's what we call the knowledge check. And yeah, everyone has chip damage moves. Everyone can go into heat. Everyone has the heat burst and the heat smash and heat engagers. Just go through the move list and figure out, you know, what you can get off everyone's stuff and what everyone's different moves are. And I'm gonna tell you how to break defense. If it wasn't clear earlier, you want to use lows, grabs, the mid-low mix-ups that are close in frames, so it's harder to block. Chip damage attacks, of course, going in the heat, using it, or just using the designated moves to do it. Guard break attacks that, yes, there are guard breaks for people that are coming back and returning to Tekken that didn't know. They put guard breaks in the game. So Devil-Jin, this move right here, used to just be a lot of frame advantage, but this glass breaking signifies that the guard's been broken. So I get a free 1-1-2. So it's plus 10. Or I do 2-2. And then that goes into more stuff. So you're like, oh my god, I gotta do something. But Devil-Jin can cancel his I guess power up guard break move into the stance. Before he could just only cancel it into nothing. He could really just cancel this into nothing. He could do this and bait you into trying to attack him, and he stops it and then whiff punishes you. I guess they realized how cheap that was, because I was really abusing that. But I hadn't got to win the tournament or nothing with it. It's okay though. But with that, we have guard breaks. We also have unblockables. So yeah, and this unblockable in particular used to have like 3 or 2 different speeds to it, but now it seems like they just put a speed of it in the middle. And I think I know why they did that, because you have all this heat and heat engagers and chip damage and stuff, and you're like, dang, you got that and unblockables? Like, let's make this a little more balanced. So I get what they were doing. Like, so their wake up attacks now are safe. They can't be punished. Before, like, your get up kicks could be punished on block, but no longer. So I think that's a design decision, because they're like, well, we're already giving him so much offense. They gotta have something on defense. But you can still meet a wake up attack. You can still whiff punish it and hit people out of it. So it's not like it's not without drawbacks. All right, so now that you got all the basics down, you got your combos down, you might still be using special style, you might be using the regular style now, and you got your movement and everything. You know how to get up, you know how to attack people while they're getting up, break grabs, all of that. Now is to just understand the game that you're going to be playing versus everybody. So it's going to be a game of, you know, round start neutral, but the game plan is you're trying to either get in, or you're trying to keep them out, or you just keeping out is just spacing or just staying away, and getting in is literally just getting in, and so you can do grabs or whatever. But then there's also the point of the game where you're looking for whiff punishes, because that's a part of keeping out, but it's also a part of offense too, because if they think you're looking for a whiff punish, that threat is enough to give you enough time to be like, all right, I'm gonna come in, because they're like, oh, they see I'm trying to wait for a whiff punish, they're not gonna give me nothing, all right, here I come. But then on the flip side of that, they could be like, oh look, he's waiting for me to do something to whiff, I'm about to go in now. And that comes back to you playing keep out. So basically, they try to get in on you, you're playing keep out to get them away from you. You're like, all right, get away. And when you're trying to get in, they're going to try to play keep out. But it's not like you're designated, all right, well, I'm trying to get in, I'm just going to try to get in and just try to get in. No, you can decide while you're trying to get in, you know what, I'm going to play keep out too, or I'm going to do nothing. Because the threat of, hey, I'm going to try to get in is going to, depend on the opponent, is going to scare them into doing something to try to keep you out. So with that said, say you come in and stop early and they do something try to keep you out, you punish them, get damage, and then your offense starts. So the game is all about keeping them out or zoning to stop them from rushing. And then when they're trying to zone you from getting in, you can use that threat of them being afraid of you getting in to whip punish them. But you can also use the threat of them being afraid to get in, and also like just trying to space to check the temperature. You can also blow that up with punishment. So it's kind of like, you know, it seems like 3 different things. It's really like 4 different things, where one is kind of the same. Like there's like offensive with punishing and defensive. Or you can play like keep out, but you're playing rush down keep out, where you just keep them in a certain range and only attack them at that range at a distance. Because now you don't need to actually hit them with lows to get their health down. You can just do chip damage off of these pokes. So it opens up a whole new dynamic of how the game plays. Because now, before you had to absolutely hit them. The only time you're going to absolutely need to hit them to beat them, though, to seal the round, is if, like, you know, the clock is running down and both of you are just chipping each other out, and neither one of you have HP anymore, and it's literally you got to get a hit and kill. That's the only time. But for the most part, you can win with a life lead off chip. Now, the most underrated tool for leveling up in this game, and also familiarizing yourself with all the moves that you need to be familiarized, is the punishment training. This tool is so good. You can either put it on normal or hard, which means like you put it on hard, it doesn't tell you what move it is that's coming up. You have to just blindly punish it yourself. But on normal, they'll show you the normal or the special move that is happening, like the other character do it, and then tell you like the recommended punish. So you're like, okay, this move is unsafe. So what I recommend, how you use this, let them do the move that they want you to punish at like 10 times, right? Because the whole point of this is so you can recognize what you see and then punish it. The goal isn't, oh, I just want to get through all the moves and do the thing fast enough. No, you want to be able to recognize what you're blocking, and then like, okay, is that, and then punish it with the correct choice. So you see that power crush is unsafe, and all they cycle through all the like common moves, or a lot of the common moves that you're going to have to or want to know how to punish. Like this forward 3 move with Kazuya has a lot of range. Kazuya players use it when they want to space. You see it's punishable. Then this move, Kazuya wants to use that because it's his fastest counter hit mid, and it's a homing move. He needs to use that to stop you from sidestepping. So if you scout that and block it, you get a punish. So it's a lot of fun. Like this same thing, I could be a tryhard and do electric wing office right here, or I could do back 2-3 or back 1-2 and get guaranteed combo starter. See, like even on this low, it's like, all right, do while standing 1-2. So it gives you a good rundown on what moves you don't want to let the opponent get away with. So definitely use the punishment training. Like, do not underestimate, you know, how good it is. Yeah, it may not cover all the situations and stuff, but it get you started off on like a lot of the common moves they're going to use. All these moves that Kazuya is doing are moves that he needs to use. So definitely take advantage of the punish training so you can get accustomed to what all the characters are doing, and try to do punish training versus every character. Like for real, if you want to become good or just have good games and stuff to where you're not fighting something getting caught off guard, oh, what's this on block, or what's this move, how do you punish that? Go through punish training. And then for the stuff that they don't show, then you set it up in the move list, you look for it, do the move, see what it is on block, go to defense mode, get the dummy to record a certain move, so then you can block it, finish it, put the movement on. He does a move, make him block, or no, you make him do the move, right? And you punish it. So there's so many different ways that you can go about this, even on offense. Like I'm just demonstrating, like, look, you got punish settings, right? There's another way. Say a move, you're not sure if you can sidestep it or punish it, right? Or something. So you're like, all right, you set it up to where they do something after they block immediately. So say you're like, all right, I'm gonna set it up to where, you know, they move after they get hit. So I want to see if I can hit them with a move when they sidestep after I hit them. So as you see, he avoids Demon Palm when he sidesteps here, and I can get punished, or I can just do another jab. It's just ways to set up situations, like utilize the practice mode. It's really good in this game. Hope this helped you guys with getting into Tekken. I know it's a lot of information to digest, and I believe that you can keep coming back, and more and more will click over time for you. And trust me, like, it's not going to be an overnight thing. Just saying myself, at coming into Tekken and just fighting game scene or the competitive scene at 2004, 2005 is when Tekken 5 released in 2005 for console, and that's when I was studying the FGC in general, and Tekken was actually the game that I was the most engaged in, as far as like studying, seeing the history and all that stuff. So going from playing at that time and learning and not being able to hit electric wing Gothis whenever I wanted, like I just did, and not be able to move, because before I couldn't even backdash cancel like this. I had to do it this way, as I was just talking about. I was doing it like this. Now it still works, but it's like a delay in how far you can move back. But going from that early on to just being able to navigate and play however I want, I'll just give you a time. And also keep in mind, I was playing multiple games at one time, so I wasn't just focusing and dedicating on Tekken. I was playing DOA. I was world champion that game several times, and then Street Fighter 4 came out, and I was still playing like Tekken 5, Tekken 6, Tekken Tag, whatever in the background. But you know, because of things that held me back from being able to take it to the next level, like, you know, having more experience or access to more experience and online gameplay and training mode and stuff, which is perfect now. So now I can play, but back then I was still like doing things on the slow rate, like trying different arcade sticks, practicing movement on stick, on pad, everything, just seeing what I could do to get over the hump. But it wasn't until, I will say, where I feel competent, where I think that I could just go and beat anybody, was Tekken Tag 2. But I wasn't super focused on Tekken Tag 2 as I was playing MK9 at the time. But yeah, like Tekken 6 is when I finally started getting my feet wet and like, okay, look, I'm looking like I'm starting to be like a threat now. And oh no, it was Tekken 6, Tekken Tag 2 around the time when it was coming out, that I feel like coming into my own and being confident in my Tekken gameplay. So going from like 2005 to 2009, 2010, 2011-ish. Well, okay, I'll say 2011-ish is when I felt like, oh yeah, you know, I'm definitely on my stuff. So basically what I'm trying to say with that is, yeah, I wasn't totally dedicating my time to Tekken, but there was at least 5 years or something before I was like, yeah, I'm a competent Devil Jin player. That's how I mean. But if you want to scale that back and be like, all right, well, you only played this much, so you can't, it was really like this much time, that's fine too. So, but I'm just letting you know, don't expect the results overnight, but you can still get them overnight. But don't beat yourself up, because it does take time. But that's it, everyone, for today. I will be streaming every day starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just playing Tekken. Sometimes I'll go live earlier than that, but I plan to just be live at noon, Try to stream for 2 hours to 4 hours, depends on, because I take breaks in between, or just have people come into the lobby and play. But I'm always running an open lobby for people that want to come through and play, as long as you don't act weird. And of course, playing ranked and always giving out tips and stuff. So hopefully see you guys in there. If not, you know, I'll catch you in the comments and stuff. Hope you guys had a wonderful start to your year and you're enjoying Tekken. And hope to see you guys on stream and in some tournaments. Peace.